Well, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Referees Corner here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again is a group of youth referees, people who have put their hand up and taking on the challenge of helping out officiate the game we love so much here in Bermuda, football. I want to first let them introduce themselves, and we'll start to my left. And young ladies, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Remy Chitrar.
I'm Shayna Simmons.
And young man,
Christian Charrington.
okay. Well, first of all, welcome. What excites you about the game of football? What gets your juices flowing when it comes to football? Because you first want to love something that you're going to do, and then you take up officiating. So, what gets your juices flowing? Who wants it? What's that?
Getting girls.
Getting girls. But then you get to that point where you then decide you want to officiate. What turns you on about officiating? Where you say you like to score goals, you like girls, and you like that excitement. But what excites you about officiating?
Being in charge.
What's that?
Being in charge.
Okay, so taking control of a situation, but you're young and you're still learning the game yourself. Um, how do you put that into perspective? When I say that, meaning if you're still learning the rules and the guidelines of the game, but being in charge is that person that's overall in total control kind of thing. Do you feel intimidated at times that I'm not 100% sure what that rule is, but I know it's an infringement?
Yeah,
Yes.
you feel that all
Yes.
the time, but like Gilly Rap said, you gotta know how to be confident in doing it. Because you can't be like, maybe, because then they're gonna be on top of your own game. You have to take control.
How do you take control like that? Is that the tone in which you blow the whistle, or is it just the way you speak?
It's in everything. You just have to have that confidence behind you.
Okay. What about you? Are you confident when you go out there? I mean, it's something new, isn't it?
Yes, it's something new. Like being on the field, it's being a referee. It's different from playing soccer because the playing soccer, you're working as a team. Being a
Hmm.
referee, you work as a team, same, but you're in charge of the game. You make the play.
Right.
So for me, it's pretty hard because it's like you're doing like being responsible while you're refereeing.
Right. What position do you play when you do play?
I play defense.
Okay. So are you a defensive-minded referee? Do you allow the defenders to get away with a little
No.
more? No?
It'll be so unfair.
I mean, hey, well, sometimes don't you feel as if the defenders are getting the wrong end of the stick when it comes to the new rules put in place and all that?
Not really.
No?
Never.
Okay. What about you, young man? Do you feel as if, what position do you play first of all?
Pretty family.
Okay. Are you that type of referee though? Are you the referee
If it's like a first time, I'm gonna be a clean.
but when you look at it, well, obviously I've been around the game for a little while longer, but I see the way the rules have changed quite drastically to make the game more of attacking minded and kind of limits the defenders. But what do you find is most challenging for you when you are preparing to do a game? What are you looking over in the book to ensure that I understand this 110% before I go out on the field?
The part of when to give, to be honest, part is that it's hard for me is when to give a yellow card.
Okay.
It's sometimes they don't deserve a yellow card, but you have to know specific what they do to get it. So it's
Okay.
kind of hard for me, but I still learn while I go.
Right. Are you finding that you're getting assistance in group talks when you guys have your courses and all that, where people give different opinions in different situations that, yeah, I remember I had that, or I've seen that, so that's how you deal with that. Do you find that's beneficial to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. What has been some of the things you've learned about the game by sitting around a table like this, going through a course and learning more about football?
A lot, like when I used to play, I wasn't sure about offside and stuff,
Hmm.
and I got more of it being
Right.
official.
Now, a lot of people, I know Mr. Williams has thrown a lot of people to the wolves, kind of thing. I mean, but you guys put your hands up to be officials. So, are you comfortable now in the roles that you've played thus far this season?
Yes.
What would you say has been a challenge?
I would say more of a challenge is when you make a call that you know because you know not everybody knows the new rules of the game. There are some new rules of the game.
Hmm.
So when you make a call, somebody, like for example, somebody coach or somebody people who's watching it, they'll be like, oh, that's not fair or whatever. Like
All
one
the
game,
players
I was
too.
called a biased ref. Like, but
Are you
it wasn't.
serious?
Yeah, it wasn't like I called it because I saw it and I know what it is, but the other team did it like it did happen with the other team how
Right.
they said it would. So like at the end of the day, you gotta just keep that calm, keep your cool, and just know what.
Do you find that you have to explain a lot more, especially when you're doing the young kids now?
Oh no.
Cause like you said, Willie Rock, we take control of the game. What we say goes. And honestly,
Right.
I have so much respect for refs now. I'm not gonna even lie. I didn't even like refs when I played football, but I have so much respect for them right now.
What they have to go through,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
I
challenges.
feel bad. I want to apologize
Yeah,
to the
because
refs that
every
refs
time
my
I play
games.
and I barely touch someone, they're gonna say I'm supposed to get a yellow card. I am so pissed. I want to curse at the referee, but if I curse at him, I'm off the field.
Right.
So I just keep my calm, and then when I'm in his position, I'm like, oh my. I can't even, take back my words and my opinion on him. Like, I'll never do that again.
Right.
I'll just never do it
Because
again.
you're stuck making a decision what you see.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard on them too.
Right.
Because you gotta go with what you saw at the end. The people on the side saying, "Oh, that's not really what happened," or "That is what happened."
Right.
But at the end of the day, if, for example, if somebody does a handball and you didn't see it, but everybody else saw it,
Right.
we cannot call it because technically,
We didn't see it.
yeah, they could just say that it happened, but it really didn't. So
Right.
we have to go with what we say.
Oh, okay. Okay. How about you? How do you feel about that? Because I mean, they've explained quite a bit. What's your opinion of a referee now?
Yeah, same thing. Like I used to get mad at all the refs that ref my game.
Mm,
Now, in my perspective,
right.
it's like, yeah,
If you would have done it the opposite way, if you'd have been a ref, an official prior to playing, you think your perception of the game and the way you handle a call will be different?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What actually made you decide to become an official?
I like being in charge.
Well, you said that you like that being in charge. Okay. All right. How long have you been doing it?
But since the beginning of the season,
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So you saw the opportunity to be in charge,
yes.
and you've taken it. What would you say has been the toughest thing you've had to do in the short space of time of being a referee?
Like if like suppose I call make a call, not everybody's gonna agree with it. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to like take like other people's, well not opinions, but hear other people saying that it wasn't the right
Right.
call.
Right. But only your call matters.
Yes.
Nobody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys do a game this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
What
game
game did
was good.
what game did you do?
I did North Village Whites versus Southampton Rangers.
Where was that?
Done like nationals.
Okay, I've got something to say to you. And where was your game?
The same place.
And I've got something to say to you. Because I figured you two were the two because I was sitting on the sideline. I want to say to you, what's your name?
Shame.
Shayna. You command respect by the way you blow your whistle.
Mhm.
And when you blow your whistle, everybody stops because it's blown in a regard that I know I've got confidence in what I'm doing, and I want to command you on that. Did you hear her blowing her whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta blow yours just like that. Because I could see the two, and when you blew your whistle, it was like a little more play, and then it came to a stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just
That part,
yeah.
I was confused because I was like, the time was different. Like she started before me,
Right,
so
right.
that's why.
Okay, but still, no, I'm talking about for fouls or outside or
Oh,
just you gotta forcefully blow your whistle to make everybody stop, and then what they do is everybody stops because you've made a call, and the blowing of the whistle as hard as you have actually says to everybody, I saw an infringement, I saw the foul, I'm gonna call it this way and move on.
I think I have one of that discussion with the coaches.
Uh-huh.
Like he was saying that there was an indirect kick.
Right,
And then he was saying that he shouldn't have done it. And I said, I see it.
right,
I say it was an indirect kick.
right.
And it should be an indirect kick.
Yes.
Then everyone was like, I like how you ref.
Okay, all right.
Everyone was like, I like how you ref. You don't take no talk from the coaches.
Right.
It was hilarious.
But that's confidence. That's what brings your confidence up. And one of the things I would always say is that if you're wanting to be in charge, blowing the whistle is the most confidence thing that you can get. And then even the coach that you're calling the foul on, or the players, they can't argue because the way you blow the whistle, it's like there were a few foul throws
Yeah.
in your game. But the way you blew the whistle and you commanded, even the coach that's standing right next to his players there started doing lessons with the other players on the side. Like, you can't do this. This is why she's calling foul through, because you're raising your leg and so forth. So that in itself gives people the confidence that you know what you're doing and you understand what you're doing, and they can take that. So you're not going to get challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, there will come a day, man.
Yeah.
But it was good, and to tell you the truth, it was good to see you two on pitches next to each other, and people get an understanding of what challenges face not only the players, because if you guys didn't do it and other people didn't put their hands up, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to play. Or some parent who doesn't understand the rules is going to do it, and then the kids are all frustrated. How many games when you were coming up didn't have an official? How many times did you go to a game and you were suited up and ready to play, and well, my coach has got a referee, but he can't coach because he's refereeing or she's refereeing, and isn't that a bit disappointing at times? Because and it's an unfair advantage, because if your coach is the one having to either referee or run the
The
line,
team was gonna
Y'all
say
team
I'm
is
cheating.
biased.
Yeah.
well, they're that too, yeah.
We had that. We were playing Soldier. I thought it was a cheat because I didn't even touch her, and she just fell.
But
I
sounds like you're a bit of a rough defender. You get that? You get that impression? You get to, because all she's talked about is foul.
yes.
But then you know what's funny? If you were at National Sports Center on Saturday, you wouldn't get that opinion of the aggressiveness that she's talking about playing, because in the way, how you get a perception of someone when you see them. "Oh, that's quiet, mild mannered, and all that." But when you're suited up, you're different. You're totally different.
Different chance for different jobs.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the job that she has
You have different
while
attitudes
playing,
towards it.
It's different.
it's the beast. And outside of that, it's this calm, what we see here. It's that, oh, okay. All right. What would you consider a challenge in a rule that you were taught, but when it happens, you're second guessing yourself? What would you consider any type of infringement that you would find difficult? Offside?
Yeah, because a lot of times you will be in the middle of the field, the ball will be going around you, and one of the children, they will be offside, but you're not seeing them because you're in the middle.
Hmm.
But like at my game on Saturday, the coach, he admitted it. His own player was offside, so I called it was no goal.
Right.
So that does help sometimes, but at the same time, offside is pretty hard without assist.
Right. Why are they not? Why are they playing offsides if we don't have enough officials to do that?
That's a good question.
Oh, okay. Because I remember, when I was growing up, we never played offside because at a certain age, because you had what age group you had? Under 11s, okay. So we didn't do offsides till under 13s. The rest of the game was kind of open to have that free play. Um, but all right, so offsides. Where do you see yourself? Any one of you three? Where do you see yourself in the game? Not just officiating, but in the game itself. In about 5 years' time, where do you see yourself?
For me, um, refereeing one of those national games, national football games. Of course, I want to do that. Especially, I want to referee Liverpool, one of my favorite teams.
Oh, well, I mean, that's an ambition. That's not too far fetched because we saw in the European Championships we had 3 female officials, first time ever. So you're not far off. You got to have a goal. You got to set yourself something. Yeah. But you like refereeing that much that you consider
Yeah,
going
it's
far
like
with it.
playing soccer, in a way.
Which one do you right now? Which one do you enjoy more?
Soccer,
Playing.
yes.
Okay. All right. What about you? Which one do you like? Playing. And what about you? Playing. I know why you guys like to play because you don't like that second guessing the decision you make
Yeah.
by everybody on the sideline. Because only 50% of the people like to call you. The other people just don't like it. It's wrong. But if it right, if it's in their favor, you're the greatest ref in the world. If it's not in your favor, what are you looking at, referee? Yeah. And guess what? And guess what? You were that same person before you got into the middle, weren't you? Yeah, the same person. Yeah, without a
I
doubt.
think
Making the
everybody
dot.
goes through that until they actually when you play football and then when you actually become an official, like I said, you get so much respect for referees because you understand the struggle now.
Right,
Because before it's just like, just do it. But
right.
like now it's like a shocker to you.
When talking with your peers, do you find talking about more different situations than just the game nowadays because you're learning so much around the game?
I'm
No,
not sure about that.
no.
I'm not sure.
So, okay, well, let me ask in a different way then. Are you one of those ones when you're watching a game and you're sitting around watching a game with
Oh,
a group of
yes.
people? Are you talking about, or if an infringement is made, you say, okay, and people are like, that wasn't a foul? Are you spending more time explaining?
When we're watching a football game,
Uh-huh.
yes,
Yeah.
especially with my nephews. It's like we see a foul and we're like, referee, that's a foul. How could you not? And we start to make complaints and all that, and then we say he didn't call it. Maybe he didn't see it.
Right.
I started to correct him and say he should see that because he's a referee. And say not everything the referee is going to see.
Right.
So he started to agree and say, if I'm a referee, I'm going to see everything. And I said, okay.
I promise you don't.
That's what I
You
told
have
him.
to have a bird's eye view to see
That's what I told him.
everything
Right.
that happened.
Right.
It's impossible. So at the end of the day, referees mess up too, but you gotta like calm it down a little bit. You don't see everything.
Right. Right. And one thing you have to remember is that your viewpoint is eye level, field level, running, trying to catch up the ball in the play, where some people are elevated. Some people, the incident might happen right in front of them, where you're at a disadvantage trying to chase it. So because they say it doesn't necessarily mean you saw it, or doesn't necessarily mean you saw it as being a foul. So I want to commend you all for putting your hands up and agreeing to help out a situation that we find ourselves in short of officials, because you actually come out and officiate and then go and play games, don't you? Yeah. So we appreciate whatever you guys do to make that sacrifice, and hopefully it's something you guys can stick to whilst you're playing, whether it is locally or if you get a chance to go to university or college, and you come back and you put that practice back into arena football. All right. I want to thank you all for joining me here on Referee's Corner here on islandstats.com. Folks, we'll be back next week with more Referee's Corner right here on islandstats.com. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.